to the audience for question and answer. Maybe we can receive one or two questions to our presenters, to our keynote speakers here, if there are questions. So we have two mics here. Ada apa-apa ingin bertanya? Mungkin bisa tanya dalam bahasa Indonesia. Ada yang boleh translate nanti.
Good morning. My name is Lais Arsalan Arvin Fakhriza.
Good morning.
I'm from Junior High School Amanatul Ummah. Thank you for your presentation. I really enjoy it. Please allow me to ask a question. I really enjoyed your presentation. Well, I have a question in mind regarding peace. I'm curious about your opinion on this. What if there is an Islamic figure from a pesantren who considers other religions to be bad? You know, we live in a pesantren and we are grateful to be Muslims who can maintain good relationship with a friend from other religions peacefully. So, what is your opinion about Muslim who view other religion as a bad? Thank you.
Any of our speakers like to respond to this question? Maybe he was talking about the communication between Muslim students or Muslim community and non-Muslim community in this, maybe in Malang or in Indonesia. Anyone can maybe comment to this or respond to this question from our speakers?
So I just encouraged them to learn English so they could come and study in the U.S. But we had a wonderful time, and I know that the pesantren that I read about are really, they just teach their students to be religiously tolerant and to be good Indonesians, which is very encouraging, and I really enjoyed my time there. That's all I want to say.
May I comment on
yes, please.
I really appreciate the question. I think we have to take or to consider that we can talk about ethical principles or Islamic thought or religious thought in general and concrete practices, and we also see the gap between ethical principles and practices. There are numerous examples of pesantren that promote peace, peaceful coexistence, good relationships with believers of other faith. Unfortunately, there are also pesantrens that do the opposite. One of my PhD students studied Abu Bakr Bashir in Solo, whose pesantren was known to be a hotbed of radicalism and extremism. So I think we have to be realistic. Of course, I come from a more empirical background, so I study not only what religions preach, but also what religions or religious practitioners practice. And well, in terms of dialogue, but also in terms of environment, we see very good examples based on Islamic principles. We also see the opposite. Pesantren not promoting peace, not promoting environmental friendly behavior, also based on Islamic principles. So we have to be, I think, nuanced in our statements about the topic of today, sustainability and peace. So that is what I can share from my experience.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prof. Franz Wilson, for the response. Okay, so we understand from Dr. Mata, she herself spent time at the Pesantren. She is very fascinating with the ethics, with the good manner from the students from Pesantren. and we understand that they are open-minded, they can very kind, they can communicate with other students, other fellows from different religions, kindly, peacefully. Thank you very much for the question and for the answer.
Thank you for the time. I'm now Yasafa Lucy from the Amanatul Ma Junior High School. We know that in Indonesia there is so many corruption. Is that happen on USA? And what is the best solution to stop it? That's all. Thank you.
So it is for our distinguished speakers from USA to respond to this question. Does the same situation happen in USA? And what is the solution for it?
Corruption. Okay, so we are basically run by the rich, but it's all very legal. And what in another country would be considered an illegal level of tax, paying taxes, the rich don't pay taxes in my country, and that would, they would get in trouble in another country for the number of taxes they pay. They would also get in trouble with the fact that there's no inheritance tax, so their children keep getting their money. I mean, there's lots of ways that on paper it looks like we're not corrupt because we follow our laws, but underneath that, the rich pay for all the political campaigns, and so the politicians are pretty much the employees of the rich. And then we are sending that kind of income inequality abroad, and the way that those treaties work, where the investors can sue the governments if they try to have laws that force them to conform to sustainability or workers' rights. I mean, who decided that that was legal? So it's not considered corrupt because it's not illegal. So I do think there's a lot of corruption that isn't called corruption. It's just this problem with the greed, the system based on greed, and how pervasive it is and how destructive it is what I would call corruption. So does that answer your question? I understand in Indonesia they have problems with it. Okay, I did talk to my Indonesian students, and I said, look, the fact that you had people, government officials, going to jail for corruption. That was when I was there in 2012. I said, this means you have a very functioning democracy. So good for you. First of all, you have a free press that reports it. Then you have lawyers that actually take them to court without worrying about going to jail. Then you have a judge that actually calls them corrupt. Then you have actual laws that call it corruption. Then they actually go to the jail because the jailer lets them in. I mean, there's many, many layers of showing that you actually have a healthy democracy if you actually arrest some government people for taking bribes or something from somebody else. So I just encourage you to just keep trying to keep your democracy honest, and that's very difficult. But you have to make sure to appreciate what you've got and then just keep working to get it better. Does that help?
Yes, very helpful. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Mata. Actually, the same situation, the corruption is happening not in Indonesia only, Malaysia, everywhere. But the question, are we there to take the action, discipline action against the giver and the receiver? Okay, it is from our religion also. Our Prophet said, "Arashi wal murtashi fin nar," the briber and the receiver and the hellfire. So our religion should encourage more, and we should be more practical and more aggressive to overcome this problem. Thank you very much. Sister Nawaya, and thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Mata, for answering this question. Thank you very much. We have another question. Can you please come?
Thank you for the time. Good morning. My name is Aisyah Danyana Rahayu. I am from SMPPP Amanatul Ummah. Thank you for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. Please allow me to ask a question regarding corruption in Indonesia. You mentioned that Islam seeks justice, especially through zakat for the welfare of the people. However, there are many cases where Muslims commit corruption in the sense of taking the right of others. I would like to know your opinion on that. Why does this happen? Thank you.
So if I understand the question is when some people who are claim they are Muslims, they take the life honor, or they're murdering or what, something like that. So maybe we can answer from Islamic perspective also. Any of the speakers like to respond to this question?
If I may, it exactly shows the point that I wanted to make. The gap between ethical principles and real practices, and that is not only in Islam. That is also in the United States. That is in many countries that claim to be Christian or whatever religion. And I think that has to do with our complexity, the interconnectedness with religion, economy, political systems. Particularly in Indonesia, the interconnectedness of religion, politics, and economy goes very deep, and that means that people not only practice on the basis of their Muslim or whatever ethical principles they have, but also as consumers, also as politicians, and these are traditions that conflict each other. So the point about corruption clearly illustrates the gap between belief and practice. I mean, recently, as you know, most of you will know, we have the regulation on mining. Now, Muhammadiyah and Nahdlatul Ulama have fatwas against exploitative mining, but they both accepted the offer of the government to go into mining. And so here again you have the huge gap between what religions preach and what they practice. And I think that has to do with the enormous complexity of economy, politics, religion, ethics, and so on and so on.
How we gain and cultivate our ethics and our morals? Well, during our socialization process, from the home, from the media, from the mosque, from the surrounding, and so on. But the most important part of it is the political will, because they are the one who make or break. They are the one who decide what is acceptable or not acceptable in the society, and also they are the one who protect sometimes the corruption. So the legal system in their hands. So we need to collaborate between the family, the society, the non-government, as you mentioned some of them, the non-government organization and the government. They should share the responsibility to curb and stand against corruption in whatever form is it. Thank you.
I fully agree with you, but the complexity is that those politicians are Muslims.
Yeah, but they are Muslim. Again, you said there is difference between Islam and Muslim. The principle and the commitment. We cannot say Muslims, really. If they are not committing, they are corrupt. Again, in the eye of God, they are corrupt. So they have to be accountable in this life and the life to come. So we have to work. Those voices against corruption should show their voices in election, in creating awareness in the media, in the masjid, everything. So everybody should stand, all of them together. It's not only one man show.
So, you can call them Muslims, but Muslims are divided into two, practice and unpractice. So we cannot blame teaching, the Islamic teaching, because of the attitude and the action of unpracticed Muslim who sometimes go against the Islamic ethics, value and teaching. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for all our keynote speakers for the first session.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, in this event that we already have our outstanding speakers from overseas. On my right it will be Professor Matia Hussein from UTM Malaysia, and on my left it's Professor Abdul Lamtong from Mindanao State University, Philippines. Please give a round of applause to both, all of them. Also, he has so many publications that it's worth checking, so I suggest you to check on the website directly. Some of them, it will be the first as the paper contribution in INGO, Peace Building in Conflict Affected Areas in Mindanao, Philippines, published in International Seminar on Islamic Education and Peace Proceeding, Volume 3, which is last year. And another one, also, we are quite proud because one of our journal, which is Al-Wijdan, is also interesting for him to publish his article under the title, The Case of Barang Sumut Development Agency in Mindanao. I think that's all for our introduction for both our outstanding speakers for today. So I will give the time to the first one. It will be Professor Matia to give the presentation to all of us. Before that, please welcome to Dr. Dia to come to the stage. That's all for me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I can start, yeah? Okay, if someone can show the slide for my presentation, but before that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. This is my first time in Unira, University Radin Rahmat, although we have been co-organizing this conference since 2020, if not mistaken, Alhamdulillah. And it's a great honor and opportunity to UTM, University Technology Malaysia, that we collaborate to organize this annual conference of International Seminar on Islamic Education and Peace. Alhamdulillah. And our honorable distinguished speaker as well, Professor Abdul Lantong from Mindanao State University, and my fellow colleague from UTM, Dr. Dia Uddin, as our moderator for today. I will take probably around 15 to 20 minutes for my presentation. My presentation is about Islamic moral economy, fostering sustainable economic growth through Al-Mizan development. This is actually a part of my course at university, and also my research on the sustainable economy, sustainable development, and etc. If someone can share my slide, that would be much useful. But before that, before I proceed, just a disclaimer, my presentation is just still on the it's ongoing research, that some of the content were developed during my classes, and also some of the content were taken from my supervisors, who is Professor Mehmet Asute from Darul University. I also inducted with his thoughts and his ideas on the Islamic moral economy. Alright, so why I choose Islamic moral economy in fostering sustainable economic growth. Well, in this forum, in this seminar, we talk about the sustainable development, a foundation for religious moderation, and global peace and security. And it is important to understand, to know about the roles of economy. Some of our fellow participants were asking about the issues on corruption, issue on ethics, and etc. But I think the most important thing is about the framework or the model that we are working right now. Somewhat need to be revisited or need to be changed probably. Dear brothers and all participants, as we navigate to the complexity of our today's global challenges we are facing, we're facing with the poverty, we're facing with the climate change, issues on development, and as well in our today's sessions this morning, Professor Daud mentions about different, alternative paradigm of sustainable development. I think that will be much appreciated. That will be great to understand what he proposed. So I think there is a need for an alternative economic framework, and I think it is a time that we think a proposal, a new framework for the today's to encounter the today's global challenge. And what I'm proposing, and my professor is proposing as well, is the Islamic moral economy. What does it mean by Islamic moral economy? Can we go for the first slide, the meaning of Islamic moral economy? Well, Islamic moral economy offers a holistic framework that integrates ethical and sustainable principles, embedding moral values into economic practice. Our today's session, Prof. Daud mentioned about the issues of ethics, interconnectedness between practical and the ethical issues. That is one of the reasons that we need to look into. And it is called a principle, Islamic economy, and it's called the principle of justice, balance, and benevolence, or balance and mizan, okay? Ensuring that material progress aligns seamlessly with spiritual well-being. Right. So can we go for the previous slide on the previous one, the Islamic moral economy. But before the first one, the blue one, another one, the previous one, okay, all right. So when we talk about Islamic moral economy, it is back to the history. The Islamic moral economy is a movement emerged as a counter-hegemonic initiative and the world purpose effort to establish an economic framework centered on human well-being, fostering a development strategy that prioritizes inclusivity. Our speakers talk about inclusiveness, and we also must take care of the stakeholders. In Islam, in production for the capitalist framework or capitalist view, the production is very much focused on the capitalistic or materialistic paradigm. But in Islam, we have a different, diverse stakeholders that a producer, that economic agent need to be taken care. Well, Islamic economy or Islamic moral economy seeks to reclaim the roles of humanity, land, environment, labor, and capital, anchoring them within an economy deeply embedded in the ethical and value-based framework of Islam. The multifaceted nature of Islamic economic development is best addressed through iqtisad, is an Arabic word, or Islamic moral economy offering comprehensive approach that transcends the limitation and influence of conventional economics, namely capitalist economic framework. When we look into the difference between Islamic economy or Islamic moral economy and versus capitalism, which is in the next slide, I put some of the difference where the core focus between these two, where Islam promote justice-oriented while capitalism promote profit-centric paradigm focus. That focus on individualistic while Islam focus on community-based orientation or social orientation. And in terms of environmental view, Islamic moral economy focuses on ecological stewardship, where we are Khalifa or vicegerent of God, has a responsibility not only to protect or not only to gain benefits from this world, but we also have a responsibility to those or to everything that around us. Where in capitalism they have been very much focused on resource exploitations. And on the reflections to the existing economic system, where today's economic system, can we go to the next slide? Existing economic system prioritizes profit and capital hegemony, where capital is the main focus. Everyone wants to talk about capital, everyone wants to gain profit. Like you said, why corruption occurs? That's simply because of greed, because of the capitalistic views, because of the paradigm that we subscribe into. Today's world has been very much focused on the profit, capital hegemony, where modern legal framework often align with capitalist system, sidelining alternative ethical models. Market logic dominates, where it is market driven. Everything must be follow the market. Everything must have profit, leading to deviation in Islamic finance from its intended objective. We have like 40 years offering alternative in Islamic finance, but the problem is the Islamic finance or the Islamic banking that we have is very much centered to the market-driven or market logic domination. As a result, legal, regulatory and governance systems in many countries are designed to maintain, enhance the efficiency and longevity of this capital-centric system. That's what we have facing right now into this world, where capital profit has been centric in our today's society. Islamic moral economy provides us with a profound and ethical alternative to conventional economic model by centering on the core principle of justice, balance and benevolence or ihsan. It offers a framework that not only addresses material needs but also promote fairness, harmony and compassion in all aspects of life. This holistic approach serves as a pathway to a sustainable and equitable future, one where economic growth aligns and moral values, environmental care and social welfare can be taken off. I think that's all my presentation. I invite any questions, any comments from the participants that we can discuss later on in the Q&A session inshallah. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Without wasting more time, I would like to invite our distinguished following keynote speaker, Professor Abdul Antong, PhD, from Mindanao State University, Filipina. Please, the Prof.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala habibina Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam nabiyya wa rasula. Amma ba'd. My dear participants, our friend Professor Musnadar, who used to invite us to be the guest speaker of the series of ICEP conferences. It started all the way from 2021, and then this is, I think this is the third or the fourth series of this conference. to my colleague, to my fellow presenters, brother Dr. Fauzi, and then to Dr. Dia from Jordan, a good friend of us. We just met this morning. Nice to meeting you, sir. And I hope that I'm looking forward to having collaboration with you in the future, inshallah. To the organizers, to the organizing committee of this seminar, brothers and sisters, our dear students, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala jami'an wa barakatuh. So at the outset, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal for allowing me to join with you. I traveled all the way from Mindanao. I left Mindanao State University last November 16, and I arrived here safely, alhamdulillah, last night ago. So this is a great opportunity for having me with you. So I am honored and pleased with this. So today I would like to share with you my paper presentations, which is about implementation of integrated Islamic education in the BARM, or the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. And I will focus on the issues and challenges and the responses that must be done in order to overcome those challenges along the way. So as a background, I think I would like to introduce to you first, to give you a background on Islamic education, the status of Islamic education in Mindanao, or in the BARM. Firstly, BARM, or the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, is an autonomous government, which was a product of the peace process between the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and the government of the Philippines. It was created in 2018, last 2018, with the approval of with the ratification of the BOL, Bangsamoro Organic Law, that was formed part of as the basic law to be implemented in that autonomous government. So the BARM is comprised by 5 provinces dominated by the Muslim communities, known as Bangsamoros. And these are the provinces of Maguindanao del Sur, Maguindanao del Norte, Basilan, Lanao del Sur, and then Tawi. Before, province of Sulu was included, but they preferred to be, to go out of or to exclude themselves from the BARM area. Now, in terms of population in this, I think the majority of these areas are Muslims, but in contrast to the population of the Philippines, Muslims are roughly, I think, 7% out of 100 million population of the Philippines. Now, in terms of education system of education that is prevalent in this area are 2. One is the madrasa system and the secular system of education. The madrasa system can be traced all the way from the time from the pre-Islamic Spanish colonial period, because we know that it is the Muslims, the Bangsamoro, who was the dominant, who were the dominant in the area, and then Islam came to this area from Johor, all the way from Johor to Mindanao in 1300s. So they established a system of education that is madrasa system. That is, if we will compare it in our standard today, I think it is parochial. It is quite outmoded, but we cannot underestimate it, because the Bangsamoro people fought against the Spaniards for more than 300 years. And then our leaders, the leaders of the Bangsamoro who fought against the Spaniards for more than 300 years were the product of this madrasa system. Yeah. And then the next system is the, what is this? The secular system of education, which was introduced by the Americans and then followed by and then implemented by the present Philippine government. So this is a secular system, and then the product of this educational system is what we call materialistic, secularistic, and individualistic individuals. But because they are the products of the main educational system, they are the one who were given opportunities to run the government. So here comes, you know, the prevalent problems, social problems here. What is this? To counter, so there is two kinds of products of this educational system. The madrasa system, the product of the madrasa system is purely spiritualistic. They are, because the curriculum offered in madrasa system is devoid of secular knowledge or secular sciences, while the product of the secular universities or schools are purely secularistic, who were, you know, we can say ignorant of their religion. So there is, you know, there is a dichotomy, or there is a conflicting personality, or the split personality of the two products of these madrasa, of these systems. The spiritualistic, purely spiritualistic, who cannot, you know, run the government, and then the secular, who are experts in running the government and the affairs of the society, but they don't have, they are devoid of, you know, Islamic values, principles, and belief system. So this is the problem that we have in the Bangsamoro areas. So with the creation of the BAM, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, there is a move in order to resolve these educational issues, and that is the implementation of the integrated Islamic educational system. So I will try to expound to you what is the concept of, you know, integrated Islamic educational system. The effectiveness of educational system relies heavily on the quality of its educators. In the BAM, there is a shortage or scarcity of qualified teachers who are not only knowledgeable in their subjects areas, but also trained to deliver a balanced curriculum or integrated curriculum that incorporates Islamic teachings and holistic development. So this is one of our, you know, perennial challenge. You know. In 2004, we initiated, or we introduced, or we created, or we founded, established an integrated Islamic education, madrasa. But we found out that this is one of the main stumbling blocks for the success of this one, because as I have stated in the beginning, that we have two kinds of products of educational systems in the Philippines: the secular and the madrasa product of the madrasa. And these cannot understand with one another in most of the time. Sometimes they are quarreling. So the approach that we adopted is that we have to convince them to sit together and then ta'awun and cooperate with one another, and then in order to complement with one another. So there is a need for production of more educators who are knowledgeable, both Islamic and the secular scientists. Implementing the Islamic concept of integrated education in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is urgently needed. It focuses on adoption of culturally relevant curriculum, enhancing teacher training, strengthening infrastructure, and promoting community engagement. And finally, by this way, BAM can create an education system that nurtures well-rounded individuals grounded in Islamic values. This initiative not only aims to improve academic outcomes, but also fosters the moral and ethical development necessary for building a resilient and thriving Bangsamoro community. Next, implementing the integrated Islamic education in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao presents both opportunities and challenges. While the region's rich cultural heritage and Islamic values provide a strong foundation for developing an integrated education system, addressing issues such as inadequate infrastructure, teacher quality, curriculum development, and socioeconomic factors is essential. And next, final slides. Thank you very much for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farid Maulana. I am from Unira High School boarding school. I'm curious about how to implement Mizan concept in Islamic boarding school. For example, in terms of school fees, I meet not all is not all from rich family, but the school fees are the same.
You're asking about the Mizan concept, how it can be implemented in the boarding school or in the school? In the school in general. Alright, so as we are proposing the Mizan or the concept of balance, the Mizan concept is the interconnectedness or the interconnections between society, we are as a human and also environment. Okay, so actually each of us, every single agent in our society must cooperate. All right, so you can do, you can contribute in each way you can. There is a school in Malaysia that has a kind of model where the school, they call it as an amanah school, a trust school. They get a funding from the corporate, from the companies, the rich companies or multinational companies or the conglomerate. The conglomerate invest or donate their money to improve the curriculum, to improve the physical structure, and also the societies, the parents actually also involved in the educating students. So I think when we talk Mizan, it must have a balance between all the stakeholders. The key words is that the stakeholders, or in Malay word we call it pemegang taruh. It's a pemegang taruh. All the person involved must have put their efforts and contribute to whatever causes they are doing, especially in the school. Must have a collaborative actions from all the stakeholders in improving not only physical infrastructure but also the curriculum and the spiritual aspect or other aspect of the development in the schools. Wallahu alam. I hope this helped. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You can ask Unira Malang, for example, Pak Dekan, that's our Dekan Din, can send the religion teachers or Islamic teachers to Philippines. Ready Pak? Siap Pak ya? To send there, for instance, like that. So we have, exchange knowledge, we exchange culture, everything. That's good, because if if we want to make a collaboration, I think it is more better than you work alone. Something like that, yeah. Those brotherhood can be fostering also. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Aris. Maybe you can, Dr. Fauzi, answer his part first.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anis. It's a very great questions about zakat management. And I also did some research on the zakat and zakat management in Malaysia. Talking about the issues of zakat management and the ethical issue, I couldn't agree more with you that there is a need to improve the quality, delivery quality of the zakat officer or the amil. They have to be more creative, one thing, and then there must be a guidelines, a proper framework, guidelines provided by the zakat institutions. My students did a research on the decision-making process of the amil, where we found that some of the decision made has a bit influence of political interest. That's the one thing. Perhaps the recipients, some of the recipients must have recognized by the leaders and etc. Then they will investigate whether they are entitled to have zakat or not. Another thing is that the recipients or the asnaf, my previous study suggested that, as I said, the amil must have a creative way to distributing the zakat, because the recipient itself can be divided into different categories. Some of the recipients or the asnaf are productive enough, where we can give them tools to generate more income, and another group, they are not productive because perhaps they don't have capabilities, they are sick, for example. This type of people, we cannot do more unless we just give annual or monthly stipend for them to continue their life. And then another group is productive enough that we can give them punching, what we call in Malay, joran, that they can do something more productive. But the problem in our society, among the poor people, they are not only poor materially, but they also have a poor mentality. So they just seeking to have money from the donators, from the zakat institutions. There's another issues that need. I think maybe perhaps there is need to have different programs, different capacity improvement, capacity buildings for them. So that's why I said ethically, the officers, zakat officers, must have a critical or creative solutions, not only have one solution that fits all, but provide different strategies for each different recipients of zakat asnaf, for example. So that's my quick comment. I agree with you that there is need to have more creative, more capable officers, zakat officers in combating the poverty in our society. Wallahu a'lam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Musnandar, for your question about what will be our plan, for the future collaboration in order to alleviate, the issues and problems related to education in the BAM. Well, of course, first of all, I am out of the BAM. I am working with the Mindanao State University, General Santos City campus, which is out of the BAM. But what is this? The MSU GSC, General Santos campus, is part of the MSU system. And that MSU system is located in the BAM area. Yeah. So therefore, this branch or this campus is also part of any of the activities of the BAM which can support the educational development of the people of the BAM. Yeah. So I think what we can do is that we have to advocate. We have to advocate the idea the idea of reforming the educational system within the BARM in line with integrated educational system, because integrated educational system is embedded in the Bangsamoro organic law. So this has to be conceptualized and then embedded in the as a system, subsystem of the Philippine educational system, implemented in the BARM through policy formulation, a policy that will be enacted by the Bangsamoro Parliament. So we will advocate for that, and then maybe we can we can offer our services as consultants to how to conceptualize this educational system, this is integrated Islamic educational system, so that if it will be approved and then implemented in the BARM, so we have contributed to that idea. So in the implementation, just like I have identified a while ago, there are problems with crafting of education curriculum, integrated curriculum, and then capacity building of the teachers to capacitate them in order to be able to teach integrated Islamic educational system, and then so on and so forth. I think there are many areas for collaboration in the future. The most important is now we have started, and then the BARM is I think very open for inviting brothers and sisters, educators from outside, especially Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, the neighboring ASEAN countries. Yeah. So there are already some consultants in the BARM, that's like in the person of Bapa Bahrul Hayat, and then Professor Iksan. They are working with the BARM, and in fact Professor Bapa Bahrul Hayat made an immense contribution in the conceptualization of the integrated Islamic education that was formed part of the educational law of the BARM. But we still need to, we need to augment that contributions made by Professor Dr. Bahrul Hayat. So I think the possible collaborations in the future, inshallah, with you and then brother from UTM, inshallah, as in the we project it, and yeah, we can see it, inshallah. So thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
So as we come to the end of the 4th International Seminar on Islamic Education and Peace, ISIP 2024, it is a deep sense of gratitude and reflection that I stand before you to deliver this concluding remarks. Over the course of this discussion, we have explored the profound theme of sustainability development based on local wisdom, a foundation for religious moderation in global peace and security. This theme, rich in its scope and timely in its relevance, has sparked enlightenment exchanges and fostered a deeper understanding of how local wisdom and religion moderation can serve as pillars for achieving global harmony and sustainability.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we near the conclusion of this inspiring keynote session, we would like to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to our keynote speaker, Professor Abdul Lantong, MSU, Philippines, and Professor Madia Fauzi Hussein, UTM, and moderator Dr. Diaya Udin, Dip Mahmud Al-Zidawi, for their invaluable contribution to this seminar. Their thought-provoking insight on Islamic studies have truly enriched our understanding and inspire meaningful discussion.
Hadirin yang kami hormati, kini saatnya kita memasuki agenda selanjutnya, yakni sambutan penutup Dirjen Pendidikan Islam yang dalam hal ini akan diwakili oleh Dr. Imam Bukhari selaku Kepala Subdirektorat Pendidikan Islam Republik Indonesia. Kepada yang terhormat Dr. Imam Bukhari kami persilahkan.
Baik, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Para hadirin, realitas kebinekaan bangsa Indonesia ini menjadi kebanggaan bersama, kebanggaan kita semuanya, dan kita yakini sebagai salah satu modal yang sangat penting dalam pembangunan nasional kita. Tentu, sekalipun demikian, kebinekaan itu juga menyimpan potensi yang jika ini tidak bisa kita kelola dengan baik, ada potensi akan menjadi destruktif dan merusak persatuan dan kesatuan bangsa, bahkan menghambat pembangunan nasional kita. Disinilah pentingnya kita selalu mengupayakan untuk bagaimana kebinekaan dan kesadaran itu tetap terjaga. Nah, kerukunan dan toleransi kehidupan antar umat beragama di Indonesia selama ini menjadi perhatian banyak kalangan dan membuat mereka mengakui Indonesia sebagai negara yang berhasil mempertahankan kemajukan dan menghindarkan dari konflik sosial keagamaan. Nah, agama di sini menjadi instrumen penting untuk menjadi pengikat dalam keberagaman tadi itu. Nah, para hadirin, para peserta seminar internasional yang sangat saya hormati, sayangnya dewasa ini kita tahu kita sedang menghadapi situasi kehidupan sosial keagamaan yang memiliki daya destruktif terhadap kebinekaan bangsa tadi. Setidaknya ada 3 tantangan kehidupan keagamaan yang sedang kita hadapi saat ini. Yang pertama, tantangan pertama adalah berkaitan dengan menguatnya pandangan, sikap, dan perilaku keagamaan eksklusif yang bersemangat menolak perbedaan dan menyingkirkan kelompok lain. Cara beragama ini tentu tidak hanya mempertanyakan keabsahan Indonesia sebagai rumah bersama bagi kelompok-kelompok yang berbeda tadi itu, tetapi juga berusaha membangun ulang Indonesia menjadi sebuah negara eksklusif yang hanya dimiliki kelompok-kelompok tertentu. Tentu ini berbahaya sekali. Tantangan kedua, para hadirin, berkaitan dengan tingginya angka kekerasan yang bermotif agama, atas nama agama. Pandangan, sikap, dan cara beragama yang eksklusif pada akhirnya melahirkan berbagai praktek intoleransi dan kekerasan keagamaan yang menghancurkan dan mematikan, bahkan merusak persatuan dan kesatuan bangsa. Nah, pada akhirnya di depan ideologi keagamaan yang tertutup seperti itu, dipenuhi kebencian dan kekerasan ini, maka Indonesia akan dipertaruhkan. Ini merupakan tantangan yang ketiga, yaitu berkembangnya semangat beragama yang tidak selaras dengan kecintaan berbangsa dan dalam bingkai negara kesatuan Republik Indonesia. Atas nama agama, Pancasila mulai digugat dan dipertanyakan, syar'i apa ghairu syar'i. Indonesia dianggap sebagai berhala, hormat kepada bendera merah putih diyakini itu dapat mencederai keimanan seseorang. Nah, para hadirin, disinilah kita menemukan ideologi khilafah dijalankan sebagai alternatif pengganti NKRI. Nah, tantangan-tantangan ini, Bapak Ibu sekalian, tentu harus kita hadapi. Para hadirin, kehidupan bangsa Indonesia dengan berbagai keberagaman dan keunikannya, alhamdulillah tetap dapat berjalan dengan baik, dengan relatif damai, rukun, dan harmoni. Kalau ada riak-riak Ada area-area kejadian tertentu biasanya sifatnya lokalistik, tidak sampai bersifat nasional. Ini tentu berkat bagaimana kita menjalankan pola keberagamaan kita ini dengan pola beragama yang kita sebut dengan moderat itu. Nah, praktek dan pengalaman yang baik seperti ini yang kita jalankan di negara kita, negara kesatuan Republik Indonesia, dalam mengelola konflik, mengelola perbedaan, mengelola keberagaman yang cukup berhasil dengan bukti tidak adanya banyak begitu kejadian-kejadian yang sifatnya itu nasional. Ini tentu sudah saatnya untuk kita sebarluaskan di seantero dunia. Nah, kita sebarkan ke dunia untuk membangun peradaban dan kehidupan dunia yang lebih baik. Semoga Allah Subhanahu wa taala membalas semua itu dan memberkati kita semuanya. Terima kasih sekali lagi. Akhirul kalam, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah, waridho wal inayah, wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih kami sampaikan.
The next agenda announcement of the best presenter, which will be delivered by Dr. Aris Musnander, MPD.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Must read also the best papers. So in this forum, we have 5 best papers. Number 1, the title is Digital Literacy of Islamic Boarding School in Indonesia, Identifying Perception, Practice and Challenges, by Jainuddin Abu Hamid Muhammad Ghazali, the University of Manchester, United Kingdom. Number 2, Siti Mutalinga and Muhammad Nur Kolik, STI Ma'at Ali Alikam Malang, Indonesia. Title Sedekah Bumi, Educational Peace and Harmony Between Religious Community and Environment Based on Local Wisdom in Contemporary Makosid Syariah Perspective. Number 3, Rifki Khairul Anam, Institut Ahmad Dahlan Probolinggo, Indonesia. The title is The Relevance of Ibnu Sina's Thought in Facing Education in the Artificial Intelligence Era. And number 4, Fakron Jamalin, Yudhistira Ade Ermansa Rahman Fadli, Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Tarbiyah Ibnu Sina, Indonesia. Title is The Struggle of Preservation on Rohingya Language as the Impact or Marginalization by Myanmar Policy. And the last one is number 5. This is from Sekolah Menengah SMB BP Amanul Umma, Indonesia. Aisyah Dania Maura Ayu Farun Nisa Zara Maulida Nurul Jasmine, with the title Female Students Opinions on Speaking Through International Conference Challenges Opportunities. That's from Junior High School. Yeah, from Junior High School. So I think we can give the only symbolic, yeah, symbolic for the certificate. No, oh sorry, certificate can be taken to the committee once we completed our closing ceremony. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Untuk selanjutnya sesi foto bersama dengan para panitia.
Thank you, Professor Abdulantong, Mindanao State University, Philippines, and Professor Madia Fauzi Hussein, UTM. And once again, congratulations. Let us all give a round of applause to honor their invaluable contribution.